The Radio Memories Network is brought to you in part by Liberated Syndication, podcast publishing made easy, libsyn.com. That's libsyn.com.
The Events at Black Tor. When young policeman Jamie is posted to a small village in the Yorkshire moors, he and his wife Pam are anticipating a nice, quiet life. But the arrival of a curious letter sparks a terrifying chain of events. Aided by Fr. Probert, a Dominican friar, the duo come face to face with the forces of darkness as they investigate a sinister cult of murderous devil worshippers. Now for an episode of the thriller The Events at Black Tor.
The Events at Black Tor by Roy Clark. The Events at Black Tor, Episode 4, The Hounds of Hell, in which the police move in and Pam, Jamie and Probert are trapped.
There's a light on anyway.
I never realized how alone and lonely the house is.
I think it might be best if we got off the road and moved quietly. I know you feel like rushing, but just in case.
All right. I don't suppose a minute longer will matter. Hell, I hope not.
Can we cut the angle here? Across the field?
Yeah. There's no why, just a ditch. Come on.
It seems quiet.
I'll have to be getting another dog. She ought to have a dog for when I'm out. We'll walk in natural, shall we? I mean, slow. No sense in making a fuss if she's all right.
Agreed.
Through here, then, and then we're back on the road. I shan't leave her again till this is all over. It's lunacy. Way out here like this. But the door's wide open.
It's been forced.
Pam? Are you there, Pam? It's Jamie, we're home. Where are you, Pam? You there? If she's been hurt...
Perhaps she left with a girl.
I'll swing for her.
Is she on the phone? The girl who was sitting in?
She won't be upstairs with the door wide open. Are you there, Pam? Pam!
The other girl, this Madge, was she on the phone?
Oh, no, our old man keeps dogs that live miles from anywhere. Take 'em hours to get here. I was going to take 'em back on the bike. I'm going to ring the station.
Yes, I think it's time.
There's nothing here. It's dead. I must be mad. I mean, fancy leaving her. What am I going to do?
Shh. Listen.
Pam! Pam! Oh, Pam. Where have you been? What happened? The door's been...
Give her a chance, Jamie.
Are you scared us to death? The door's wide open. The phone's kaput. What's been going on?
Have you had your supper?
Well, of course we haven't.
I'll get you some. You have tea or cocoa?
Tea will be fine, Mrs. Hewitt. Gently, I think, Jamie.
What is this? I mean, doesn't she know? What's going on?
I'm not sure, but I think we're going to have to find out slowly.
Pam, listen, love. What happened tonight?
If you want something warm, you'll have to wait.
Pam, what about the door? It's been forced.
There's some cold meat if you'll have a sandwich.
Now, look, put those things down and listen to me.
What are you doing?
Don't worry about the tea, Mrs. Hewitt. I'll see to that.
Now, love, look. Now, listen. What happened tonight? Now, tell me.
What happened to your face, Jamie? Your face all smudged. You look funny.
Tell me what happened to the door.
You smell of fire.
You were out when we got here. Where had you been?
Outside. Walking.
Where?
In the lane. I was in the lane. I don't know. Let me get you a drink. I was making a drink.
Never mind about the...
Perhaps it would help, Jamie. I suppose that phone will still be dead.
Well, yeah, of course it will. You're not expecting it was an exchange fault. No. No, I lay a bet the wire's been cut.
I think something similar may have happened to Mrs. Hewitt.
You mean that's why she won't tell us anything?
I don't think it's a question of her being unwilling. I think she's unable.
But why?
Because she's forgotten.
Well, just like that. I mean, amnesia. She remembered me. Well, you. I mean, I thought everything went. The lot.
Not always. Sometimes it's a safety valve. In effect, you forget what you have to forget.
Have to?
Or crack. Or so they say.
You mean the head shrinkers?
Well, it doesn't seem at all unlikely to me that there should be some natural way of cushioning a shock which might otherwise be unbearable. After all, I believe in a God of mercy. It's the instinctive equivalent of what the doctor does with his sedatives.
Poor kid. I wonder what the hell they've done to her.
By the looks of it, nothing physical. At least you can be thankful for that. I should say they've worked on her nerves. Scared her half to death.
Well, she's had a hell of a shock.
Yeah. I think shock would be the medical term for her condition at the moment. Questioning only distresses her.
In my own house. I look forward to the time when I can get my hands on somebody's collar. I mean, somewhere behind all this hokey-pokey, there's bound to be some flesh and blood, and I'm going to get me a piece. I mean, why pick on her?
Your most vulnerable spot, Jamie. The way to a man's heart is through his woman.
I'd like to pay a visit to that rest home, sort out that Belias twit.
And make it plain to him that we know all about him, and therefore about Mrs. Leslie. If we can conceal that, she has another 2 days to live, and we have a chance of saving her. But we're not going to be able to do it without help. You've had a taste of the malice that exists behind all this. It's evil and it's alert. It's time we called in the cavalry. It's going to be like walking on eggs, but somehow we've got to set the full machinery in motion without tipping our hand.
It's funny, I can't seem to find the sugar.
Oh, well, maybe Madge put it somewhere.
Madge?
Lord, yes, Madge. Well, what happened to her? Did she leave early?
Don't know. I can't remember. Why can't I think? There's something about Madge.
Don't worry, Mrs. Hewitt. Jamie, I'll get the bike and ride over to the girls' place. Check she's all right.
Oh, thanks.
It was something about supper. I was making something for supper. Yes, I may have made some pastry.
Well, that's something. If it's been eaten, she must have only left recently.
It's here.
It's not been eaten.
It's not even been baked. Why? Why can't I remember? Oh, Jamie, what's happening to me?
All right, love. That's all right now. You've had a scare, and it'll all come back.
Looks like the girl might not have come at all. Very convenient for them.
Yeah, too convenient. It'll be worth finding out what made her change her mind. I'll see her in the morning and hear what she has to say.
Right. What are you going to do now?
I'm going to take Pam to the section house. I better get the doctor to see her.
No, I don't want a doctor.
That might be wise, providing you can invent a suitable reason for her being like this.
Well, you don't think that he might...
Can we afford to take any chances?
God, no. No, you're right.
If she can sleep, it'll be all right. If not, you'll have to risk it. Make something up. Or say nothing.
Well, I'll be glad when I've told the sergeant and get some of the weight off.
Will he believe it?
Well, he will if you're in attendance.
Well, there's your phone in action again, anyway. Pity the rust won't mend as easy.
I'm just thankful you believed it.
In the shade of that muscular great monk, what else?
Well, I hope they're listening to him at DHQ.
They must be. He's been there all morning.
I thought when I saw you coming back so quickly that they'd laughed it off.
Oh, I got tossed out early. Well, you know the force. Secrets only for the chief superintendent and above.
Well, he can't be telling him anything we haven't already told you.
No, but you know how it is. Well, it's bad for their image, you know, mixing with sergeants and things. So report back to your section, Sergeant. We'll take it from here.
I hope they take it easy, that's all.
Yeah. That poor old dear on ice up at the pub. Well, they've got the message, you'll see. I know it's hard to believe, but they can walk softly when needs must. They want to know why you didn't report it earlier, incidentally.
Oh, naturally. That's the standard operating procedure. In every situation, leap unerringly to the old standby and see what you can blame the PC for. You know just how much they'd have been impressed if I had reported it at the beginning.
I know, but you get a rollicking anyway. You can't argue with the facts of life. What are you planning to do with that lass of yours till all this is over? Would you like her to stay here with my missus?
Well, would you?
She's been here in the bed all morning.
Oh, thanks. Well, it'll only be till tomorrow night.
All right. Win, lose, or draw.
Well, what do you think? I mean, can it be done? Can we get them before they can kill Mrs. Leslie?
I don't know. The trouble is we've nothing on them. Nothing solid. They'll have to be taken in the act. It's the only way.
Exactly. And how do we ring the district without tipping them off?
Well, the answer to that little problem is no doubt what they're working out right now at DHQ. Come on, get your helmet. I don't fancy sitting around here any longer. Let's go and see your sitter's father. What's his name?
Harris.
Ah, that's right. Come on. You think the lass herself is all right, then?
Madge? Oh, yes. It was obvious she was as puzzled as anybody why he was making such a fuss. She said it wasn't like her old man to get excited about anything except his dogs. Apparently, he got pretty nasty before she understood that he wasn't kidding.
Did he, give her any reason why she wasn't to go to your place?
Well, none that made any sense.
But he was determined that she shouldn't go.
Very. You'd have thought it was a matter of life or death. That's what she said. And what do you think?
Sounds like he was told to warn her off by somebody who was able to give him a right scare. It'll be interesting to find out who, if we can.
Well, he must know enough to know what to be scared of. It's the best lead we've had. I mean, hell, it's like old times. It's the only normal bit of police work I've been on since all this started. The only thing that worries me is should we be following it up?
I thought about that.
Well, they'll learn about it.
Very likely. But it still won't give away what we know. It would be a sight more suspicious on our part if we didn't follow it up. Now, that really would get them thinking. No, they'll be expecting us to go as far as this. What worries me is why we've suddenly been presented with this solid, clear-cut lead. That's his place. Through the gate behind the trees.
Oh, he likes his seclusion, doesn't he?
Oh, he has too. Breeds and trains these dogs. I don't suppose it'd go down well with neighbours. Yeah, and watch how you go, incidentally. He's got some as big as ponies.
Oh, that doesn't sound much like a pony.
That's the one he keeps for feeding to the big uns. Damn quiet. Why aren't the big dogs barking?
Where are the kennels, then?
Round the back of the house. We'll go there in a minute.
Oh, I've got a feeling something's happened to that solid, clear-cut lead you were on about.
Look, you're jumping to conclusions. I've told you before. That's for civvies. He might be in there yet, in a carsy or something.
You want to bet? That's rather peculiar. It doesn't feel right.
Oh, give over. What are you, clairvoyant? Take it one step at a time, without the atmosphere bit.
I do so admire your professional calm, Sergeant. Come off it. It smells, you said so yourself. I mean, why aren't the big dogs barking? There ought to be a hell of a fuss. I can't see anyone in this room. Only the dog.
Try the other window.
No, nothing in here. I'm going to have a look around.
Hang on. I'm coming. You try the kennels. I'll check round here.
They're all like this one. Cages wide open. Nothing, not a thing.
No, there's not round there either. Maybe he's got them all out somewhere, exercising.
Well, I shouldn't have thought so, not all at once. And they take a bit of handling, especially on what he feeds them on.
What does he feed them on?
Raw meat. In that storeroom down there, a load of it.
Maybe he cooks it.
Not by the look of the scraps in the cages. They'd be a bit of a handful, wouldn't they? I mean, big dogs on a diet like that. You shouldn't care to meet one in the dark.
Hang on, there's still the barn. Let's have a look in the barn.
You nosy old devil. You're the same, you old bobbies. Poke around for hours when somebody's back's turned.
Where's the police instinct?
Oh, aye, that, and not trusting your mother. Oh, dark, isn't it?
Well, there might be another door down that end. Now, if we can open that, it'll let a bit of light in.
Well, I suppose a bit ripe in here. What the hell was that?
Step where you are, and don't move.
I can't see it.
Now draw your stuff. Slow, and for God's sake, don't startle it. Now edge away to your left. Away from the door. Now give it room to get through.
The damn thing won't move.
I was hoping he'd buzz off when he saw the way clear. We'll have to give him a shove.
Play it cool, Sergeant.
A sudden noise, maybe. Listen, Jamie. When I give you the word, explode. All the racket you can make.
Right.
Me too. Now both together. Yeah, hey, listen, cover your face, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Right, when I shout then, yell and jump about. No! Hey! Okay, sorry, hold it. bastard won't move.
I can see him now, can you?
Just his eyes. Why won't he move? What's he got there?
What's that?
A pitchfork. Get over to the wall. I'm gonna have a go at him with this.
Watch yourself then.
Get on it! Get on! Ah!
Ah, you've got it. Oh, there he goes. Hell, what a size. What's he got down there? Some meat? His muzzle looked all red. Hey, Sarge.
Have a walk down there and open that door. Now get me some light here.
What? Well, yeah. Yeah, sure, okay. Well, that all right enough?
Plenty.
Well, what is it? What have you found? What had he got down there that he didn't want to let go of? Well, he certainly tried to... Good God in heaven. God. He certainly had some meat, all right. What is it? What was that?
Harris. Yeah, as far as you can tell.
Poor devil. He's cold.
But not stiff yet.
How long would you say?
That's the medic's pigeon.
Oh, come on now, you're not in court.
Yeah, all right, well, between friends, I'd say early this morning. It's fairly warm in here. He wouldn't cool off all that fast.
Well, what went wrong, I wonder?
He knew too much. That's what went wrong.
What, you mean... Well, you don't think it was an accident?
Give over his own dog.
You hear some funny stories about Alsatians.
He was an expert, not some unattended kid. I knew it was too good to be true. Having a lead like this, now look at it.
Look, all right, so he knew something. I mean, I can understand why they figured this was necessary. But how? I mean, how did they manage it?
Well, I don't know that it would be too difficult, given time. And out here they could have had lots of that. Wait a minute. What about his daughter? Where was she last night?
Well, in town. She spent the night with her married sister.
Convenient, isn't it? Why, did she say?
Well, because he was in such a temper. Well, by the time he'd finished making sure she kept away from Pam, they were having a tearing row. I think she was scared to go home. Hey, do you think that's what he intended her to be?
Well, don't you? It's obvious he was under some sort of instructions to keep her away from your place. I'll make a little bet those instructions went further. And he was told to make sure he came home alone.
So they had all the time in the world to provoke the dog somehow.
Or dogs. Where are the rest of them? The kennels are empty. They're all loose somewhere.
But just roaming about savage. Good God. We'll have to warn the farmers. There's nobody else out here, is there?
It's not half as bad as the alternative.
What's that?
That they've got them under control somewhere. Ready for when they're needed.
Oh, get away.
Yeah, it's potty, isn't it? Till you look at Chummy here.
Well, all right, I mean, once. Well, this I can see, but again.
But it's right up their street. Messy. Put the fear of God. Well, you know what I mean. Up the district when it gets around, and above all, it's clever.
Clever?
Jamie, lad, look, both you and me, we know this poor slob's been murdered. And we both know what the verdict's going to be. Accidental death. Because we haven't had a chance, not an hope of proving anything else. That's clever enough for me. Now, let's face it, Jamie, if one night they trot out another animal somewhere all worked up to kill, and some poor devil's found with his throat torn out, it's going to be the same blasted verdict. Accidental death. They're onto a good thing. You better stay here and keep an eye on things. I'm going to ring in.
Hey, what if Fido decides to come back?
Well, you know what they say. Never pat strange animals. It's always the same. I've told you before, you've got to face the facts of life. I mean, you know the faults.
The minute anyone in uniform turns up something a bit different, bingo. CID swarming all over it.
Well, what did you expect?
Well, I expected to get shoved out, but not so quick. I mean, not straight back to checking pig licenses.
You know what's really bitching you, don't you? Somebody's pinched your case. It's been taken over. Well, forget it. It always happens. It was high time it was turned over anyway.
I hope they'll be quieter tomorrow night when we're trying to save the old girl than they were just now. Clattering all over Harris's barn.
I'll give them a bit of credit. Like I told you, they can move softly when they have to. The whole point about that altar site on Black Tor is that it can only be seen from one place, down in the bottom.
From Deep Dyke, yeah.
Ah, well, let's have a look. Maybe that'll satisfy you. Put your mind at rest.
The cottage is just down there. You'll see it in a minute. Yeah, they ought to have somebody down here keeping a lookout.
I always said you had the makings of a superintendent.
Yeah, I'll have that in writing. You know, I'm right there. I mean, somebody who could signal the party up on the Tor if there was anybody snooping about down here. Hey, hold it. Hey, will you look at that cheeky mister? Calm as you please.
You could do with a wash.
He could do with a boot. It's no time to be encouraging tramps. Hey, look at that fire. I bet there's a rabbit in that ruddy pot. That's if he hasn't lifted a chicken from somebody. I'm going to move him on. We've enough on without this old tea leaf here.
Now you're talking like some typical country bobby.
Hello, Governor.
I'll give you hello, Governor, tatty old lad. What you doing here?
Just having a bite to eat. There's no law against that, is there?
About half a dozen, that's all, depending on what's in that pot.
Smells all right.
Oh, aye. Does the job right, does this one. What is it, then? Fair or feathers?
Oh, fair, sir, fair. I couldn't hardly come by feathers, honestly, now could I? No, I found this lying on the road. Hardly touched it, sir, hardly a mark. You'd scarcely believe it.
I don't encourage him, Sergeant. He's flying off, is this one?
I have always thought so. How are you, Walter?
Oh, nicely, thank you, George. How's yourself? If you'll just excuse me a minute while I flash the boys on the hill to carry on.
Hey. Hey, what is this?
Detective Sergeant Merrion, a crafty old bobby.
I'm not a bad cook. Will you sample a piece?
Oh, you funny, funny pair. You could have told me. I mean, you didn't have to make me feel a twit.
He was scared you'd be clumping all over in your biggest boots. I thought I'd better let him see for himself.
Ah, you did right. You're not a twit, son. It's your job to worry about things like that. But you can relax in this case. It's being done gentle. There's been nobody snooping round here, I'll guarantee that.
Where are the boys then, Walter?
Yon ridge, about halfway up, where it levels off. Here, have a look through these.
Aye. No. Oh, I can't see him. Yeah. Oh, wait. Aye. Oh, there they are. Oh, that's very nice. Whose idea was that?
Well, I couldn't have 'em laughing at me being the only one togged comic.
Have a look, Jamie.
Old Moffat looks a treat.
I'll bet.
Hey. Hey, there's somebody else up there, hikers.
How many?
4. Shorts, Russacks the lot.
All right, that's them, Jamie. They're all bobbies. Every one.
What?
Well, what did you think? A bulldozer?
Well, you learn something every day, don't you?
We've upset him, George.
I'm not doing him any harm. He's got brains. The experience will be good for him.
Be a good bobby eventually, will he?
Well, eventually.
I hope your rabbit burns.
Early night for once. Do us all good.
Not so early either. Sunset already.
Wonderful sky.
Too red. Reminds me of... I'll put the light on.
Oh, no, wait. Let me draw the curtains first.
I know what you mean. You feel like a target.
You can be seen a long way from here. Right.
That's better.
Not that they'd use anything as simple as a bullet. Accidental death, that's their line.
Something horrible's happened to Mr. Harris and he won't talk about it. You'd think I was a child.
She's still edgy.
I'm not surprised. She must have a heart like a bull to be here at all.
I wish she wasn't. I tried to persuade her to stop at the sergeant's, but she was getting all worked up. I mean, you know how she was last night when I was trying to question her.
Yes. To be honest, I'd be happier if both you and Mrs. Hewitt were staying with the sergeant.
Orders are to keep surface appearances as normal as possible. I mean, look a bit odd if we just quit the house. Might set somebody thinking.
I suppose so. Well, I must be off.
Well, you're welcome to a bit of supper before you go.
Oh, that's very kind of you, but I must go. Come and see me off, and bolt everything behind me. Quite dark already.
What about you? I mean, you must be high on that hate list, remember? Now, don't loiter.
I won't. Good night, Jamie. Say good night to Mrs. Hewitt for me. What's that?
No, don't go. Now, come in the house, quick.
The dog?
Or dogs, yes. Harris had several. You're not going out there. None of us are. These bolts are staying fastened. I haven't got the lock fixed yet, but these bolts should hold.
You don't think it might be just a stray?
I'd hate to gamble on that and lose. I saw Harris afterwards.
That sounded nearer.
You can bet on it. They're coming this way. I don't know how they're being handled or how they make them so savage, but we're about to come under siege, Father. Now we'd better check the defences. I bet that damn phone's dead again.
Well?
Lifeless. Check all the doors and windows down here, will you? I'll go upstairs and fetch Pam. I'd feel better if we're all in the same room.
I agree.
And while I'm up there, I'll shut everything up. I don't know why, and the damn things can't fly, but I'll shut them anyway.
You do that. I'll see to things downstairs, then we'll settle in here. It might be a long night.
What are they doing now?
Can't see anything my side at the moment.
Nor on mine just now.
I was hoping they might have gone.
Yes, I know. Gets on the nerves.
Which is just what they're after, of course.
Aye. We're safe as long as we sit tight in here.
Do we have to just sit here in the dark?
Yes, we do.
But there must be something.
No, that's what they want us to try. Some cowboy caper out there.
Here it comes again.
God!
Thanks. Is she still asleep?
I think so. At last. What are they doing? I think I felt better when they were making a row.
It's more than an hour since we heard anything. But they'll still be there. Don't worry about that.
Look, why don't you have a nap? We can take shifts. No. Not a kid. Not out there. Not amongst the... Well, what's out there?
What is it? God, no.
That was episode 4 of The Events at Black Tor by Roy Clark.